very simple jobs today, which is to provide you all with the most warm welcome to the Royal Botanic Gardens Kew. My name is Colin, Colin Clubbe. I have the honour of being Head of Conservation Science here at Kew. And I'm really delighted to see this initiative come to fruition and really pay great respect to John and to Jonathan for their determination to get us together, for their enthusiasm that they're bringing to this subject area, but also, more importantly, their inspiration, because they have identified a key gap in the market. We don't celebrate botany enough. We kind of hide botany behind plant sciences, you know. Let's come back and celebrate botany. Let's come back and celebrate what it is, the ground roots of botany, which are the plants that make up the world's plant diversity, or closer to home, the world's flora within the UK realm, so the UK flora. So to come up with the idea of adapting that very well-known, long-running, long-loved TV series of University Challenge to a Botanical University Challenge and launch it in this way, I think is really fantastic for both of them. I know they've had a lot of support from the Botanical Society of the British Isles and various other groups, and it's great to see so many student groups here. We noted a few of the absentees, the people that like to think themselves at the top of the pile. Well, they plainly aren't, because they're not here. So welcome to all of you. And thank John and Jonathan for putting together. Good luck to all the teams. We'll hear from those in just a moment. My apologies, I'm going to be slipping out and slipping back in today because of other commitments I've got and some overseas visitors. But I'm going to leave you in those wonderful, capable hands. It's someone who doesn't really need any introduction to an audience like this. James Wong, who's our quiz master today. James and I go back a long way. I remember him as a master's student here at Kew. And he has not lost any of that enthusiasm, that curiosity, that inquisitive spirit, that amazing capacity to retain facts. And it's just a delight to have shared a little bit, but watched his career develop. And thanks, James, so much for coming back and sharing this, because those of you who follow him on Twitter, indeed, you know, I think the way that Jonathan, John and James use Twitter is a great example to us professionally, how social media can be a great vehicle for our profession and to keep people excited. Because the whole thing about this afternoon is fun, it's excitement, and you've got the right quiz master for that. So I'm going to ask James to come in and give us
quiz master for today. I have made up lots of titles for myself for my CV, but I have never made up that. I've been asked to say a couple of words about how important plant science or botany, whatever word we want to call about it these days, is. And I always find that the fascinating thing is I can guarantee you, if I ever had an interview with a journalist, the first question is, so, why are you interested in plants? So, tell us about what first made you interested in plants. And I have this idea that I feel like I'm under pressure to say, well, you know, once I was normal. And then I had this like crazy experience where I had this eureka moment, and suddenly plants unbelievably became interesting to me. I think that's such a bad question, because no one ever asked my football mad brother, so, when did you first realize you were interested in football? It's ridiculous, because plants are fundamentally within in our culture, within the ways our brains are set up, within society. We have a human fascination for plants. Whether or not we know we have that fascination is different. But the fact that, you know, when you walk, when you're in an office block and you step out into a park, or when you're in a busy street and you step out into a garden, your blood pressure instantly changes. The fact that properties are worth more in your gardens than anyone else. The fact that the flower is the only universal icon throughout all of art. the fact that we can see red and green traffic lights are all genetic imprinting in our brain, showing us how fascinating plants are. I don't know whether I'm telling you guys this, because you all know, and that's why it's fascinating to be around you. So I'm going to ask the first two teams to come on up, and apparently I have some cards that are able to do that. So I'm going to shuffle these. I promise you I've not